guys, welcome back to Beautifully Bookish Bethany, where I have new videos every week about books and the geeky mom lifestyle. Subscribe for more bookish videos and don't forget to hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I release a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. Where Dreams Descend is a debut YA fantasy novel that is being pitched as Moulin Rouge meets Phantom of the Opera, and I can definitely see where they're coming from. I definitely get some of those vibes, particularly in some of the characterizations and the setting, but it also feels like very much its own thing. I have to say I really loved this book. It is not going to be the right book for everybody, but for me it ticked so many boxes of things that I love. So in today's video I want to give you some sense of what to expect from this book, why I enjoyed it as much as I did, and whether it might be the right book for you to pick up. It goes on sale in June of 2020 from Wednesday Books. I did have an early copy of it and I want to show you. I actually have tabs in this. I am not a person who typically tabs books, but in this case I did, and most of these tabs are hints at secrets that get uncovered here. So let me tell you the things that I loved so much about this book. I'm not going to get too much into the plot. I'll give you a little bit of sort of the beginning of it and some general descriptions and considerations, but I don't want to spoil anything because part of the fun of a book like this is kind of jumping in and going with what's happening. So things that this had that I am a huge fan of. It has lush writing, vivid settings and descriptions that I could imagine in my mind. It's got morally gray, complex characters with interesting motivations. It has magic and a magical competition. It's got dark hidden secrets that are slowly getting uncovered in an ancient city. It has dark romance elements to it, and it has fighting against the patriarchy. All of which I am a huge fan of. I really enjoyed this. The other thing that I love so much about this book is that the author is able to seed these very subtle clues and hints to what is really going on throughout the course of the book. And so this is where a lot of my tabs are. I know that some people find this irritating when they're subtle and not things that give too much away, but just kind of like keep you going and make you put clues together. The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh did something sort of similar to this. Susan Denner does this in some of her books. It's one of my favorite things to read. I love books that do this, and I felt like this book did it really well. And so I tabbed some of the places where we get information that I was kind of piecing together. I would recommend doing this one as a buddy read if you've got someone to read it with, and actively engaging with the text as you're reading it and trying to figure out what's going on. For me, that was like a lot of the fun. I also was just so drawn into the world. These scenes that she would write were so vivid. I could picture them in my mind. It felt like walking into a Baz Luhrmann film, and I gotta say, this would go incredibly on camera as a television show or a film. It would just be stunning. So a brief introduction to the plot. It follows a showgirl named Kalia who dreams of being a great magician on the stage, but she lives in a world where there is very little opportunity for female magicians, and as the book says, those who dare most often disappear. But she hears of a magical competition in this mysterious ancient city called Glorian and decides to run away, escape the master of the house that she performs in as a showgirl, and try to take her chance to make her mark on the world, and things kind of go from there. So I won't say too much else about the plot, but I will say that I loved Kalia as a character. She's this fierce, powerful, sassy woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it, but she also cares deeply for some of the people around her, even if she doesn't always make the right choices. There is sort of a love triangle in this story, and I thought the way that it developed was really interesting. There's a character in this book that fans of The Darkling in the Leigh Bardugo series will probably also really love. He's like creepy and mysterious and like pretty dangerous, and we don't really necessarily know who he is or what his real motivations are. Yeah, there's just a lot that's really good here. I will say there are definitely going to be some content trigger warnings in this book. If you want to see what some of those are, check out my Goodreads review. My Goodreads is always linked down below. But there's definitely some stuff to consider in terms of things like violence, manipulation, emotional and psychological abuse, and some other things as well. So if you need to know those triggers, check that out. I usually try to include some of the major ones, especially in my YA reviews where I can. But overall, I absolutely loved this. Janella Angeles is a debut Filipino-American author, and she just like killed it with this. And that ending, oh my goodness, I need book 2 like yesterday. I cannot wait. This is the first in a duology, and it's just so freaking good. Definitely gonna make my favorites of 2020 list, and maybe the best debut that I've read so far this year. I am thoroughly impressed and really enjoyed it. Again, this is maybe not gonna be the book for everybody. It's got very lush, descriptive writing. It's got a lot of little tiny hints to the mystery, so if you don't like having to pay close attention and put pieces together, like I would say that in some ways stylistically it reminds me a little bit of The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh in that sense. Not entirely, like it's its own thing, but I love it. Like I love stuff where you have to really pay close attention and try to put all of the pieces together to figure out what's going on. And it's also one that I think has a lot of rereadability. I can tell it's the sort of book that once you finish the second book, you probably would want to go back and reread it and will catch things that you didn't notice the first time around. It just has that sort of vibe to it, which I appreciate. So yeah, absolutely love this. I'm a huge fan. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts or feelings on the things that I mentioned in this review. And is this a book that you're interested in picking up? Is this a book that you've read? How did you feel about it? Did you like it? Did you not? Is it one that you're interested in picking up having read this review? Or is it one that you think you would steer clear of? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.